Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential and I'm here today to share the latest simplicity patterns with you. So everything I talk about is available on our lovely website, and you'll find links to our website and all the products I mentioned below. And if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, because every Friday I bring you a video packed full of sewing goodness. If you can't wait a whole week, do jump on and check out our other social media accounts. I've linked them all below and we're in all the usual places. But before I get started with the gorgeous patterns and fabrics, I just thought I'd share what I'm wearing today with you, which is New Look 6560. It's a sort of crossover blouse. It's not a wrap in the traditional sense because it hasn't got a tie that sort of goes all the way around it, but it's like a wrap. You fasten it on the inside and then it's got a button and loop closure there. It's got this ruffle on it, which I think I need to just press that ruffle a bit. Sorry, I look a bit dishevelled and that's not sitting properly, but really love this fabric. It reminds me of Monet paintings. It's one of our viscose fabrics and you just see the lovely drape and movement in that. Perfect for blouses. I wear loads of blouses in the autumn and I just love all the colours in this. The pattern's a really popular one as well. You can do it without the ruffle and with short sleeves, and I did a full review on it which you can find on our channel, and I'll link that below for anyone who's interested, because I had some thoughts about how it fastens and some issues there. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, but let's crack on with the patterns now. So this is another release from Simplicity, which is sort of a summer release really. Now in the UK we're edging towards autumn now, but I'm hoping we're going to have a few more sunny days. Some of these patterns definitely straddle summer and autumn and into winter, and then also I thought you might be going for a bit of holiday winter sun somewhere, perhaps if you're lucky. But if none of those apply, there are some seriously gorgeous designs here that you probably just want to snap up and have in your stash ready for next year anyway. So the first one I want to share with you is Simplicity 9597, which is a Mimi G design. Oh my goodness, this is to die for. I love it. I think it's been a really popular release, this one. It runs in sizes 6 to a 24. So the 6 is a 30.5 bust, 23 waist and a 32.5 hip, and the 24 is a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip, and it is a jumpsuit or dress pattern. It's got this lovely, really fitted bodice, which looks like it's empire, sort of an empire line. Very, very fitted, a subtle, almost sweetheart shaping around the front. Straps that look about as wide as a bra strap. And then for the dress version, you've got a tiered skirt, which has got 2 tiers, and the jumpsuit is wide leg. And I think that's tiered as well. Yes, that's also tiered. But then the really cute bit about this pattern is if you look at the back, it's got a button and loop closure across the back, which is probably as wide as, well, it's wider than the back of your bra would be. It's probably like a good few inches wide, but then there's a cutout underneath that, and the skirt or the jumpsuit looks like it's gathered with elastic to sort of really fit nicely around that curve of your back. I love a cutout design. They're super contemporary and trendy at the moment. I made a beautiful New Look dress this year for a friend's wedding that had a cutout on the back, and yeah, I just absolutely adore this pattern. I think this is one I will definitely try and get round to making. You can sew it up in lots of different woven fabrics, cottons, linen blends, viscose fabrics, that sort of thing. The one I chose is the fabric that I made the beautiful dress for my friend's wedding in. It's a beautiful viscose Riccardi fabric, high twist. So it's weightier than some of the really flimsy viscoses you'll find, but it's still got that lovely drape and movement. It would work brilliantly where it's gathered up into that elastic at the back, so it wouldn't be bulky. It would fit beautifully around the bust, and then, you know, just work really well for those gathered tiers. I can vouch for this fabric. It is beautiful to sew with and to wear, and I think it would make a real knockout dress sewn up into that pattern, or the jumpsuit if you prefer that. The next pattern is one that definitely straddles the seasons. It's Simplicity 9606, which also runs in a 6 to a 24. So you've got 4 different views on this pattern. It's a lovely blouse pattern. It's got gathers under the bust, and the seam line comes down like that underneath the bust, which I always quite like and think is quite nice and flattering. It's got a button down front. It's got princess seams from the waist up to where that seam comes under the bust. It's got options for embellishment and trimmings. It suggests lace trims and that sort of thing. It's got a very subtle sort of puff sleeve, which looks like it's gathered into elastic at the hem. So that's view A, which is the one on the pattern packet. There's also a sleeveless version, view B, which has got that same nice deep V. And then C has got a round neck but a cutout keyhole design and is sleeveless again. All of these have got that button down front and the princess seams from the waist up to the bust sort of seam, under bust seam. And then the final view is similar to the other one that I just mentioned. It's got a keyhole, a round neck. It's got that lovely V-shaped seam under the bust and the gathers at the bust. And then it's got the button down and the princess seams. And then it's got a lovely short flutter sleeve. They've all got princess seams at the back as well. So it'd be a nice sort of fitted blouse. And I just love blouses. I think they take you through the seasons. We're sort of in the height of summer now, and I'm wearing this viscose blouse, but equally I'd wear it in the winter with a cardigan. They're just a great piece to have in your wardrobe to mix and match with shorts or jeans or skirts. And yeah, I just think this is a really pretty design, one I'd definitely like to get in my wardrobe. So the fabric I chose for that one is one of our new, I'll have to put those threads back later. One of our new viscose poplin fabrics in this lovely yellow colour with a lilac floral print on it. Really pretty and understated. I think it would make a lovely summer blouse, but equally we've got some more sort of dark and moody florals in these fabrics that you could use if you wanted to make something with more of an autumnal vibe. There's loads of those on the website, loads of dark florals with nice ditzy prints and mustard coloured florals, or some with orange florals, some really nice ones. So if you're feeling the autumn vibes, go for that. But I thought that yellow print was really pretty for that pattern. The next one I want to share is Simplicity 9602, which is a caftan sort of cover-up type pattern. So it is, it's got 4 views. It runs in a size 6 to a 24. And it comes in a full length maxi version or a shorter version, and it's really pretty design. It's got a tie at the waist for 2 of the views. It's finished with a band round the neckline and down the front. It's then got options for a lovely fitted sort of loose fitting sleeve down to about the elbow, and then a trumpet sleeve coming out of that, which is really pretty. And the long version, there's also a version without the waist tie, so it's just open, but you can have a separate waist tie for that one, and that comes in the longer and shorter lengths as well. So just a really gorgeous pull cover up type pattern, or just for at home if you wanted to use it as a very fancy and beautiful dressing gown, then you could use it for that, a robe, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it's nice just to have something cool and light to put on. I always think when I'm blow drying my hair, even in the height of winter, I've got like a nice lightweight robe like this that I put on because it just gets so hot. I can't wear like a toweling dressing gown or whatever. So really pretty. I'm sure it'd be a super simple quick make as well. And the fabric, you want something nice and lightweight and drapey and floaty for that. The fabric I chose is this gorgeous John Caldor Fernando viscose fabric. I think this would be absolutely perfect for that pattern. Make a beautiful pull cover up, or if you just wanted to treat yourself to something lovely to wear around the house at the weekends or whatever, or when you're having a bit of downtime, I think this would would work really well as well. Lovely and drapey, and I love that print. I just think the colours are absolutely gorgeous. So that is my choice for that one. The next pattern is Simplicity 9604. This is a top pattern with 4 views. So the view on the pattern packet is showing a bit of midriff. So if that's not for you, there's also 2 views that are longer in the body as well. But if you're into a crop top, it's really pretty. It's got a V-neck at the front. Let's just have a look at the back. It's a round neck, a high round neck. There's a V-neck at the front, and then that neckline has got pleats all the way along it, and then the crop version is gathered into wide elastic at the hem, so it creates a little bit of volume and drama in the top. You've got lovely long sleeves that looks very similar to this sort of sleeve that I've got on today, sort of relatively slim at the top and then just ballooning out into, I think they're called bishop sleeves. I need to learn all my sleeve types, there's so many to remember. But I really like that style of sleeve. That's gathered into elastic. Or there's a version with a short flutter sleeve, which is really pretty. And then, as I said, if you're not into exposing your midriff or wearing cropped tops, there's also a lovely V-neck version with the lovely pleated neckline that just hangs and comes to where it probably looks like it would come to about the high hip. Same long sleeves on both versions. Or there's also a version that looks like it would come to about the high hip, but then it's just got some elastic casing around the waist just to cinch it in a bit, so you've got a nice loose fitting design which you could tuck into high-waisted trousers as well. That would be my go-to for that one. Or you've got this design with the elastic in it, but all very beautiful, all very pretty. I think the pleats would be a lot of fun to sew, and the fabric I chose for that one, again, you want something with a bit of drape and a bit of movement, nice woven fabric. I've chosen one of our peach skins which come in a range of colours, and I've chosen this lovely rich sort of burgundy, sort of deep purpley colour. I think that would look really nice sewn up into that top. These peach skins have got a lovely soft handle, as you would expect. That's where they get the name from. And it's got the right sort of drape and movement, but it's got enough sort of substance to it that it would hold those pleats well as well. So I think that would make a gorgeous top for evenings out, or just if you want to dress up a little bit in the day. You need to treat yourself sometimes, don't you? The next pattern I want to share with you is Simplicity 9598. This is another Mimi G design. This also comes in a larger size range. So the one I've got here runs in a 6 to a 24. But then there's also Simplicity 9599, which runs in an 18 to a 34 and looks like exactly the same design to me. It's just that they've created a separate pattern for the larger size range for some reason. But I know people have mentioned before about size ranges, and the good news is the big 4 pattern companies now are expanding their size ranges in quite a few designs. So I'd expect to see more of that over the coming months. So I'll keep you updated with that. But yeah, this is a Mimi G design. It's what I would call a bodycon dress, very fitted. It's for jersey fabrics. There's a V-neck at the front, and it's the options are to come just above the knee, or you could make one that hits you at sort of like the high calf, I would say. And it's very simple and plain on the front. You can go for a short sleeve or a long sleeve. All of it's very fitted because it's for jersey fabrics. But then again, the pièce de résistance is on the back. Well done, Mimi G, for knocking it out the park with the cut-out designs on the back. Just gorgeous. This one's got a lovely cut out at the back, which is very similar to the new look dress I made, which I talked about. So it cuts out like a V at the bottom and a V at the top, but then the fabric is sort of twisted at the centre where it joins. So it's really, really pretty. And then there's a centre back seam down the skirt. So Mimi G's gone for a really loud print on one of the views, and then she's done like some colour blocking on the other view. So you could go for one of those options. options. But I also thought actually this would be really nice sewn up in just a nice, simple, classic, sort of neutral colour, such as a navy or a black, for winter. For evenings out, I think, you know, you could sew it up in like I've chosen navy, which I probably would wear more daytime, but also we've got black. This is our John Galdor cotton jersey. I've done the pick and knit test on it and it's stretchy enough, but it's really beautiful quality cotton jersey. I've made loads of things in this over the years and it washes and wears brilliantly, and I thought that would make a nice sort of elegant understated version of that dress. The next pattern I want to share is Simplicity 9607, which is a skirt pattern which runs in sizes 6 to 24. It's got a design at the side. It's got a seam that comes from the waist down to the hip on one side, which is sort of asymmetric like so. And then pleats come out from that seam, and there's sort of like a wrap over front, and then you can do an asymmetric design. There's like a midi length asymmetric design where the pleated part of the skirt hangs lower than the other part of the skirt, and there's also a mini version of that one as well. Or you can do what looks like probably a knee length sort of version with just a straight hem rather than having that asymmetric hem. But again, another lovely design, really thoughtful. I think it'd be a lot of fun to sew, a lot of fun to wear. I really like the styling on the packet, just worn with a simple cami. But I did think as well, if you were to make the shorter version, I mean, you can make it in lovely, pretty, bright colours for summer and wear it with strappy sandals and a cami like on the packet. But if you wanted to style this one for autumn winter, I thought the mini version would look really nice, made up in this animal print khaki linen viscose mix fabric that we've got, which is a Lady McElroy. I made a pair of shorts in this recently and I absolutely loved working with it. It pressed beautifully, it sewed beautifully. The shorts just look so neat, all the seams look lovely when I'd finished, and I think it would work really well for the pleats for that reason, from that experience. And I just really like this print and the colours, and then you could pair that with black tights and a black polo neck perhaps, or turtleneck. And then finally, Simplicity 9613 runs in sizes 4 to 22. So a 4 is a 29.5 bust, 22 waist, 31.5 hip, and a 22 is a 44 bust, 37 waist, and a 46 hip. Few different separates in this pattern. It's a trend we're seeing coming through a lot, the matching separates with this sort of crop top and a longer skirt, and then you can mix and match these. Obviously you could wear the top with jeans, shorts, you could wear the skirt with different tops as well. So I quite like that idea. I think you get a number of different looks from one pattern. So the top is a halter neck, which is fastened with a drawstring at the neck. It's got a seam that runs under the bust, and then a wide panel with seams that come up, princess seams that come up to that seam, the underbust seam, and then extending to a bust dart on the top as well. I suppose that's to help you get a fit. Fastened at the side with a zip, and then it's got seams, princess seams at the back as well. And you can also, with this one, you can either do a simple tie neck at the top, or you can have a piece of fabric covering your back at the back as well, which is the same as at the front. And then the skirt has got a waistband, it's got a button down front, it's fitted from the waist to the low hip, I would say, and then there's a gathered skirt attached to that. You can go for a maxi length or a midi length in this one, and this is for woven fabrics, cottons, linens, viscose fabrics, that sort of thing. The fabric I chose is this really pretty cotton poplin fabric, which comes in this beautiful vibrant green. I absolutely love. I love all the bright colours, and I think it would look beautiful sewn up in that, and then you could wear the skirt or the top as separates, as I mentioned earlier. So I hope you enjoyed that. As I mentioned at the start of the video, all the patterns, all the fabrics, everything I talked about, they're all linked below. And if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.